Welcome to our podcast, Parenting by the Pint. Enjoy the show.
Greetings, Minivan Mafia. Lauren and I are longtime friends from Chicagoland that love getting together to chat about life, kids, family, and beer.
Each week, we'll feature a brewery and sample at least 2 of their beers.
We'll also discuss a variety of topics ranging from parenting, pop culture, travel, marriage, and just about anything else that comes to mind. Welcome, everybody. Here we are with another episode. How are you doing today, Lauren?
I'm good. Yes.
Good.
Hello again.
Yeah.
Happy to be here. Welcome back. All those things.
Always. So today we are going to talk about Illuminated Brew Works from Chicago, Illinois. And we're going to start with Fruit Creep, which is a double dry hopped double IPA. That is a mouthful.
Yeah.
Just like the name of the second beer is a mouthful. We'll get there.
Yes.
Wait till we get to that, you guys.
Twisters it is. It says beer inside. It's good. So.
I see that. It's got like a weird goat and his eyes are all spirally.
Goat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hypnotized. That's perfect.
It looks like it, yeah.
And he's telling us that there's beer inside this can.
Yeah, so here's what the can says. You know there wasn't fruit in the gum you chewed as a kid, right? It was an illusion, a trick played on your impressionable mind by bad-intentioned scientists bankrolled by Fat Cat, macro gum corporations exploiting your enthusiasm for big, juicy flavors.
Oh.
Well, there's no damn fruit in this beer either. Just an incredibly wasteful amount of Citra, Mandarina Bavaria, and Matueka hops to make you believe it's full of tropical delights. Drinking this will have you in our lovable grip. Another Fruit Creep powerless to your juicy needs.
Wow. It's a lot of flavor text,
dude.
But I really like it. That's really good.
I think one of their designers has been friends with one of the owners for like 25 years or something.
Oh, really?
And one of them, I'm not sure which one it is, did like labels for like some major bourbon companies like Jim Beam and like Knob Creek and stuff like that. So been around and has done, I believe, most of their labels too. But
now this is a double IPA. I can tell just by looking at it.
So last week we drank an Imperial IPA, which was so different.
Yes.
And so
first
unique.
of all, it was crystal clear, which we didn't, it wasn't.
Yes, no haze.
This is for the haze boys.
This is for the haze boys. And it's more orangey yellowy color.
Yes.
And it's totally an IPA from the aroma.
Oh, yeah.
Much more grapefruit in this.
Yes,
much
more
citrus.
But more
fruitful.
tart.
Much more
grapefruit.
fruitful.
Yes, deceptively so.
Right, in the aroma.
As they would say.
Mm-hmm. It's all an illusion, they said. It's even more citrusy in the taste than a normal double IPA is.
Yeah.
To me.
They
it's a little bit more fruity.
Went for the whole fruity flavor.
Without fruit.
Yeah. So I totally get that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I 100% get the fruitiness to this. It's a good double IPA. It's got the hoppiness. It's got that, the flavors to it, but it definitely is more fruit than it typically is in just a double IPA. So I'm sure it's the hop profile, which is awesome. But
which was something we hit on last time.
Yeah, really good though. So Illuminated, they're Chicago-based. 3 friends. They started the brewery back in really 2013. They didn't really get it up and running until 2015-ish, but they rented like a cheap basement from their buddy. It was a dirt floor.
Ooh.
Like it was completely like this dingy like place, and that's where they started. And they didn't jump into owning a brewery. They all kept their jobs, and this was like their side project, essentially. So you either get a bunch of investors and capital and Kickstarter and just jump right in, or you try and make time and you do
like a
little
hobby.
by little, and you get into the industry little by little, and that's pretty much what they did. So three guys, started it. They started, I think, in like the West Loop area. In 2013, 2015, they got some more kind of production equipment. They actually brewed for a period at Unani.
Okay.
Learning more about really how to get into the professional brewing business. Obviously, they were all home brewers because that's what happens. But moving from home brewing to the professional, and really what their comments were is it's not about the beer that's the difference from going from home brew to the professional. It's all of the other stuff, the finances, the sales,
totally.
So the brewing itself doesn't change. I mean,
Sure.
it gets bigger,
The
but
volume
the process
changes.
doesn't change.
Yeah.
It's learning everything else about selling and marketing and all of that really is the biggest challenge to getting your foot into the door in the brewery business.
I mean,
so,
let us
sense.
continue beating the dead horse that is the times we have observed a brewery spending money on things that seem outrageous.
Yeah.
Because they focus on aesthetic and the visually pleasing elements because they're artists. Because a lot of brewers consider themselves artists.
I totally understand,
and kind of fail to see the big picture when it comes to I have to pay taxes.
Yeah, there's
and
all
I
these
have
financial
to
things
pay my employees and get employees.
And those are the things that the home brewers they got the beer down. But it's all the other stuff that they need to learn.
Absolutely.
So that was the bigger challenge. So in 2015, they added some more production equipment. One of the guys, Brian, actually at that point left his job in IT and really started focusing on the brewery. 2017, they added a canning line. 2021, they got an actual space, which is where they're at now, with a tap room and a production facility, and really started being the brewery that I think that they wanted to be. So that was just last year. They self-distro. They're known for just kind of funky experimental beers, big on their labels, all of the very artistic. Brian, one of the guys, came up with the Illuminated logo, which is very much a nod to the Illuminati fraternal
the
brotherhood
triangle with the eye inside.
Yeah, so very much that's what that is an homage to. And they're getting bigger, and they've just kind of started out as a hobby and something they really wanted to try and do, but they didn't want to kind of do that capital investment thing. And they just started earning money from production, and they just really started selling to restaurants and bars in the area. Their first year, they only had a couple of contracts, and then in 2015 they had 8 restaurants or something that they were selling to, and it just continued to grow. And now I'm not sure how far they've reached, but clearly they can and distribute. We're in the south suburbs, and they've made their way out here. So getting bigger and bigger, and obviously last year when they moved to that bigger facility, I think that's really the first time I heard of them at all was within the last year. So before then, I had literally never heard their name before. So
I like on the cans, and it's on both of these, it says, "Enjoy with people you trust." I feel like that's very illuminating.
Right? I like it. So so kind of cool. On their website, you can click on one of the side, tabs, and it's to join the cult. Very
nice. I like the whole
it's
persona they've created.
It's totally a persona that they've created with the logo, with their place, with the concept. Even their first, facility, or not even facility, their dirt floor place was in the basement behind 2 red doors. There was some skeletal iron thing above.
Nice.
All very much that persona, which is kind of cool and unique and different and mysterious, I would say. It has that mysterious feel to it. So, but I honestly, I don't know if I've had Illuminated before. I'm not sure if I've had anything by them. This might be my first.
I think it's possible that I have, but it would have been randomly, so I don't recall specifically.
I don't think I've had it. I think this is my first.
This might be
my
mine.
first foray into Illuminated Brew Works.
Yeah,
so
nice.
I like it. Their new place is called IBW Lodge. They call it.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, so
that's good.
Yeah, the Lodge. Well, not the Lodge, but
a lodge. Let's not confuse it with the Lodge,
Agreed.
which is our happy place.
Yes. This
the
is
only
really
place
good.
Immune to the bad place, maybe.
It is the happy place.
Good place. The good place. It is the good place.
I like this. I like a good double IPA, and this is it's a nice change to have that little more fruitiness to it.
I was going to say, it makes it a little unique, and unique is always interesting.
Yeah,
so
I like it.
I like that about it as well.
It's good. I like it. All right, so
let's get excited. Let's talk about something that will never happen, but will be very exciting if it does. We're going to talk about what if. We're going to talk about what if you won the lottery.
Oh my gosh, so many things.
What if you won the lottery? Now, in my mind, when I was preparing for this, I don't mean like, oh, you won $1 million.
Yeah, because that's like doesn't even sustain you for
I mean like
very long. Yeah.
Big money. Like $1 million might pay off most of my loans and stuff
but
like
you
that.
still have to work. So like
you still have to have a job if you win $1 million.
People don't realize that $1 million doesn't really get you that far.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Sadly.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Okay, but
we're not
millions.
We're talking
tens
about
of millions.
let's say $300 million, like the mega
an extravagant amount of money.
That's the amount of money. We're talking about money is no object. We're talking about even the cut the government takes doesn't feel like much.
Yes.
It will.
Yes.
Would. No matter what.
Yes. All right.
That's what we're talking about here. We're talking about complete life change for you and like future generations.
All right.
You'll never be the same.
Fantastic.
That's what we're talking about. That's the kind of money we're talking
dream.
about.
We're dreaming.
We're dreaming. This is a fantasy,
here.
you guys.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to dream.
Yeah.
You know, last week we talked about stress, and that's lame.
That's...
And now we're going to talk about the opposite of that.
Yes.
The opposite of stress.
The complete opposite, literally.
Some people will say money can buy happiness, and I would like to say it can buy me things that would make me happy.
Yeah,
fair. And I think that is accurate.
Totally.
For sure.
Yes.
So that's where we're going to go. That's what I want to talk about.
Money would relieve stress. I didn't say that last week.
No,
but
nobody mentioned that.
Money
would
relieve
that either.
stress.
Well, it could just be really rich. That would also help.
That would solve so many things, actually.
Yeah.
So we're
totally.
Going right off of last week.
Absolutely.
All right. So
the basics, the basic things that maybe would change. I think a lot of people would probably quit their job. If you had $300 million, you would probably quit your job. Yeah. Right? I don't know if I would stop working entirely because I work for my family.
True.
So I have to say, because the reason why I say that is because there isn't somebody ready to take over for me.
And you wouldn't want it to just fall by the wayside and not continue.
If I left or moved on, hypothetically, in the not too distant future, either they would have to find someone to replace me, which is not impossible. I have no illusions about what I do for a living.
Someone could do it, yeah.
Yes, but it wouldn't be my children because of all of this, and that might make me sad. I would maybe still want to be involved in my family's business, even if I had $300 million.
You can make some massive improvements, though. You could change
thought
things.
About that. I would probably move.
Yes, we've discussed.
There are reasons why I would do that even without $300 million. And I would make improvements to the business. We would buy new equipment. I would streamline things.
Yes.
I would pay somebody to do the recording when you call the sign stop. Thank you for calling the sign stop. Right now it's my brother's lovely voice. Because I sound too much like Beaker from the Muppets.
So you just need a voiceover. That's all you need.
Yeah, so I would pay an actor to do that. Stuff like that.
All right, I get it. I think I would definitely quit my job, but I would find something to occupy my time. Like, I feel like even if I had millions and millions and millions of dollars, I wouldn't want to just sit around. Like, I would need either a volunteer thing or something. Like, I'd go volunteer at, like Easter seals or something, something that would be like someone like my oldest, or, at the animal shelter, or like just go and I don't know, there's got to be some place I can just go pet dogs or something.
There absolutely is. I'm sure you can walk dogs.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, I know you can do that.
Yeah.
So I would occupy some of my time doing something for sure. But it would
possibly
not be my current
volunteer
job.
or charitable type activity.
But it would not be my current role.
And I think it's fair to say, for me personally, if I were to do something like that, it wouldn't be an extremely laborious leisure activity.
Walking a dog. I think I could handle that.
It would be, no offense, but I'm not going to build houses, okay? No, I don't need to be chopping
Habitat for
my finger
Humanity.
off.
I'm not doing, something that would fit my... Yes, your
current wheelhouse, and still feel good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
I totally get that.
Yeah, so that would be
I think
one of the first things.
Yeah, I think we can also cross off some of the obvious. You probably pay off all your debt.
Yep, totally.
I would look at whether or not it was beneficial, and you're the tax expert, so maybe you can answer this question. Putting money in retirement and kids' college funds, or if it's just worthwhile to pay cash for those things when the day arrives.
Yeah, I mean,
I think from a tax perspective, it's probably 6 of one and a half
when you have
dozen.
that much money, I mean, it just kind of depends. But you could put it into, their accounts, and you could definitely save some of that when you've got that much money, and you're probably going to invest some of it, so it's going to earn interest, and the interest you earn would pay the taxes. So in the long run,
right. So we're where would we
yeah.
go with that? So
Yeah.
I guess you could say I would probably contribute money to those areas for security purposes.
Yes.
Especially like hypothetically, if something were to happen to me, my kids have college funds. They get access to that money right away versus if there was money to be inherited.
Sure.
If they had to
going
wait
for all that
or
is a
doing
pain.
something like that, that would simplify things for them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would donate money. I would
for
donate
sure.
money to charitable projects. Probably like my kids' school, the teachers do a lot of like those donors choose things where they'll fundraise for like a specific thing.
Yeah.
For like $300. And I'll be honest with you, I mostly already do them. Like if it's one of my kids' teachers and they do one of those and it's $300 and I'm just like, yeah, all right, here you go. You can just because I feel
totally get it.
I feel good about that, and I know that my kid's going to benefit directly from it, and I also know that the teachers
they
motivated.
spend also a bunch of their money on things already. So,
absolutely, yeah. So
totally
if I can,
worthwhile. Yes.
If they're asking for money, I'm going to try to give it to them.
Agreed.
I think that's okay.
Yeah, no, I'm totally do
So
that.
those are all like the
I feel like everybody,
smart things
like
that you would
generally speaking, most adults would do those things.
So what about the fun, ridiculous, over the top, or just
Well, I mean that island
expensive?
you sent me the other day.
Yeah,
We could buy the island.
$93 million.
we got
so
that.
I mean, like if we both won the lottery, that would be super
my gosh,
easy.
totally.
But even if only one of us did, I'm gonna be straight with you. I'm gonna say it right now. If I win $300 million. I'll cover the island.
Okay.
You just get us there, all right? You buy the
I
flights
can totally
or something,
handle
okay?
this. Yeah.
And I will cover the island.
All right.
And we can talk about.
I would definitely if I had that much money, I'd consider buying an island.
I kind of feel like I put that on my list of fun things I would definitely think about doing.
Yeah.
Obviously there's travel that I would love to take,
Oh my
and I don't
gosh.
think because of like where I fall financially, I don't think I even can wrap my mind around the travel potential that there is out there in the universe, like where you can go and what it could cost.
Oh yeah.
So I don't even think I realize that.
You definitely don't. I joined this group on Facebook. Side note, that's called Girls Love Travel.
Okay.
And it's from women, just women, all over the world.
Okay.
And so, like, they post the most ridiculous trips.
Yes.
And it's really just me looking at all these things being like, oh, I wish I could do that. But there are places that I've never heard of that these people are going to, and they're amazing. And there's just, like, amazing scenery and all of this stuff. So I would honestly find the places I don't know about now.
Yeah.
Like, somehow I would find those places. Like, everybody knows, like, Italy, Egypt, like, Australia.
Sure.
I would find places that are the rare places to go, and that's what I would do.
I think to put yourself on that path, you have to find the person who can connect you with those places.
That's fair.
So you find some like really high-end travel advisor.
Yes.
And you go that route. And I think that that's a lot of like what would be on people's list is hiring people to handle things for you that you wouldn't otherwise either be able to handle or you just don't want to do anymore.
Yeah, I would hire a maid.
Yes,
That
I
would be
would
like the
definitely
first thing
hire a maid. I would probably get a driver because I hate driving. But I would also buy a really awesome like Tesla Model Y, which is not even an outrageously
just
expensive
something
car.
you like, yeah.
It's just something I'm not willing to spend $60,000 on a car. But if I had $300 million,
Then you could. Yeah.
I'm okay with it.
Fair. That's fair. I really enjoy driving, so I would purchase a variety of different vehicles.
Sure, you'd be like a Bruce Wayne type.
I would definitely buy
I respect
a
that.
variety.
That's just not my area.
No, totally understand. I asked my husband this, and the first thing he said was, I would immediately start buying a ton of cars and motorcycles.
Yeah.
That was the first thing. He's like, that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, I get it. You're going to be Jay Leno, like with your giant like
or
garage.
Jerry Seinfeld's got the carousel of cars in New York.
All of those, you're going to be that person that has all of the, and I'm cool with that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I think that I would want to do like beer tours and beer festivals in Europe and things like that, which I could feasibly probably achieve even at my current income level, but I don't want to go as poor Kara.
No.
I want to go as like super well off Kara that doesn't have to carry her luggage and just gets dropped off at the entrance of everything.
And you have someone to do everything.
And someone
for you.
and I was first class the whole way there.
Sure. Yeah.
Like, or private. Of course. There's always private.
We could always do private. That's always an option. Yeah. Then we could bring people that we want to bring.
Exactly. I mean, if I'm going to rent a plane, I might as well fill it up.
Right? Yeah. I'm with you.
See what I mean? I think I could get used to it pretty fast.
Yeah, I think so. I feel like it'd be a pretty quick transition.
Yeah. I would sell my house. I mean, I said pay off my mortgage, but really I would sell my house and I would buy a bigger house, but not like a psychotically bigger house. Yeah. I don't need a 20-bedroom mansion.
I don't want a place that I'm not going to walk into this room for a month. Like, that seems completely worthless
I would
to me.
be good with like just over like the average size house, like a 6-bedroom house.
Sure.
Like most houses that we're looking at, if you were going to replace your home, they're not going to have that many bedrooms. No. I could get something like that that would be comfortable for my family, but also has a room or two for some sort of maybe activity. Like my husband likes to play video games on his computer, / a guest room, / you know what I mean? And
I would
have
need a house
like
that would be probably a few more bedrooms. We have a 4-bedroom house right now because, there's 3 kids. I would insist upon a library. So I would need someone to purchase all of the books because that's something I thoroughly enjoy doing.
Sure, absolutely.
And I would need a big leather chair and a fireplace and like a
In
cabinet with my bourbon.
Yeah.
And that's what I want.
That's awesome.
My room.
That's a great lottery winnings idea. Yeah. I really like that. You have the whole thing planned out. Yeah. That's beautiful. I would probably move out of Illinois.
I would 100% move out of Illinois. I don't know which state I would go to, but it would be anywhere but here.
Yeah. Initially, when I was thinking about this, I was like, oh, well, what city would I want to move to? Town? And I was kind of like, and I thought of a couple.
Okay.
Oh, this suburb's nice, or this area is really nice. Sure. And then I was just like, no, I will not live here. No.
I would buy multiple houses. I would be the person that would have some place in the Midwest, probably. I really do like the seasons.
I do too.
But then I would also probably have a place in Florida on the Gulf side, though. Only the Gulf side.
Yeah.
And then possibly Arizona. Mm-hmm. I really love Arizona. So I would have a variety, and they probably wouldn't even be big. Even if it was just like a condo and a nice complex with a pool, like I don't need a big house in all of those places. I would just like some place we could go.
I think that's great. Yeah. I would definitely want a house in the mountains, but not like the Rocky Mountains, like the Alps.
Oh, we can go to Chamonix or something in France and get a house.
I don't know if I'd want Swiss Alps. I think I'd probably want Italian Alps.
Okay, fair. Yeah.
I'm Italian, so I have I'm partial to Italy.
No, I get it.
So I think I would probably be on the Italy side. Mm-hmm. Maybe get a house off of Lake Como next to George Clooney or something. There you go. That might be okay. I think that's supposed to be beautiful.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I could see doing something. I would definitely have a second home of some kind. Mm-hmm. Probably a mountain one because my husband and I are both kind of winter folk, and he likes skiing and winter sports and stuff like that. Although I 100% believe we would enjoy a home in a warm climate. So I would guess that would come about. I have never given it much thought, so I couldn't tell you where I would go.
I've given it thought. And also possibly the Appalachians for the mountains. Very pretty.
Yes, I've heard that. Yeah. Yes. That would be, a little bit easier to get to.
So it'd be, yeah.
Although I do have Italian relatives and maybe could sort out some dual citizenship if I paid
really
somebody enough.
I'm sure if you paid anybody enough of it,
yeah,
things happen with money.
Don't they?
But yeah, property, and I would actually probably invest in some properties as well.
Do some rental property stuff. I think that's good.
Pay somebody to manage, but I mean,
oh sure,
property is a fantastic investment over time.
Yeah.
And I mean, I would plan some things out so that when I pass, my kids would have things. And real estate is a perfect example of something that would completely appreciate. So yeah, I think that's a great thought process, and I feel that way too. I would definitely not only consider getting something that I would want to travel to, but also having investment property. Yes. Totally. Yeah, totally. Mm-hmm. So, would you keep it a secret? Would you tell people? That is an interesting question. I don't think I would tell everybody at first.
Sure.
I think that I would pay off my debts, make small changes at first, and then eventually they'd probably learn but I do think that people change somewhat when they know you have money. Mm-hmm. So some people expect things.
Yeah.
I would bet that there are some people in my life that would expect something, even though they didn't earn anything. It's not like they deserve it, but or there's no obligation. And I'm not saying I wouldn't help out friends. Like I 100% would.
Sure,
if there was something, like if I know that so and so has like a bunch of medical debt or like something, I would definitely be generous, but I wouldn't want people to expect anything from me.
Yeah, it's a tricky area. I think in general, I would probably keep it a secret. Mm-hmm. Maybe not forever. Like you said,
feel
maybe
like
not forever.
Probably couldn't forever.
No, certainly not. Not if you were connected to people.
But at first, I wouldn't say anything.
Yeah. Well, because you want to get yourself situated.
Yeah. I would definitely want to get everything straightened out and whatnot, and before I started making big type moves.
Yeah. So I mean, I would probably tell like my immediate family.
I would tell a handful of people that are close to me. Yeah. That I know would be like, oh, that's awesome, and then move on with their lives. You know what I mean? But there's only truly a handful of people that I think that would be the reaction. Absolutely. So those people I would tell.
I feel like if I told my in-laws, they would put a lot of pressure on me to donate.
To do certain things with your money.
Yeah, and they would have some input on that. And none of those are negative things by themselves. No. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I don't mean to sound like I would complain about that or that would irritate me. I just mean that there are occasions where someone's going to give you input on how to spend your money.
Yes. They all ready to do.
I mean, people already do that, right? And family is notorious for that. They love you, but they're going to try to tell you, I remember when my husband and I were house shopping. His parents weighed in on how much money we should spend on a house, but their perspective is skewed because of where they live
100%,
and the home value.
Yeah.
And so when we were like, oh, this is our budget, they were just like, whoa, you shouldn't spend more than, and they like cut our budget in half.
Yeah, but you can't get anything.
Like, yeah, but there aren't houses for that amount here.
Exactly.
I can't.
And we're not moving to Peoria, so
and it wasn't them being pushy or mean. It was them not having the perspective. Yeah.
No, that's fair. I get it.
But so I do worry that some of that would happen, and not directly my in-laws specifically, just on friends and family that maybe would have a perspective about, well, you should do this, or you should get that, or you should take care of this, or you should pay your parents' mortgage off. Well, I don't know. Sure, maybe, yeah.
My parents have such a small mortgage anyway.
Yeah,
I mean, sure, I would, but that would be a very
But you know
small,
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like
they would all have opinions.
I would probably do that anyway. Yeah. But if somebody's telling me to do it, I'm going to be like, why don't you just like go easy? And I think that's why I would keep it pretty close to the chest.
Agreed. I would too.
Especially initially.
Yes.
And I'm not going to go out and buy like a Lamborghini. So like, I don't think it would be like, well, how much money do you have?
I think I'd actually buy a garage elsewhere to put vehicles. My husband would buy a bunch of motorcycles and any other large things that we'd purchase. Like we'd probably buy a boat. We probably wouldn't buy a huge yacht, but we'd probably buy a boat, just a small one that we could go out on the lake because we enjoy that. But I would probably at first keep things, somewhere
Stored
else.
elsewhere.
And honestly, depending on if it was now, I would probably stay in my house for a bit because my kids really enjoy their school and they really enjoy the people that they
and
have
I could
there.
I could see moving somewhere. Like I said, I wouldn't want to immediately quit my job.
Mm-hmm.
I could see moving somewhere. For example, the town that you live in, I could see upgrading and buying a house in that town where there's a huge variety of home values as well. Anyway,
I could buy the Bays property. That's the estate that's off of 159th Street. That has like outhouse, like big property, tennis court. Like, I could buy that place.
Well, and exactly. So, and my kids would still be closer to where they are. They would obviously lose school friends and things like that.
But at least it'd be
we
in
would
the neighborhood,
near our family.
Yes.
And I could potentially still go to work and things like that.
Yeah.
I could see doing that in a transition.
Yes.
For let's say like 10 years or something.
Before we moved out of state.
Before maybe I would move somewhere else.
Yeah.
For whatever reason.
I would actually probably stay in our district. We are like the poor people in our district. And we're not poor, but like most of the houses in our area, like I took the twins to a birthday party one time and I like pulled up to the house and it was like it would be like the house I would buy if I won the lotto. Like it was like a big
circle driveway and the valet took your key.
It was a big beautiful house and it had a bunch of rooms and like 5 bathrooms and the biggest island in the kitchen I've ever seen. Like,
oh my gosh.
So those things I'm like I would totally like I have no idea what you people do, but
yeah, right.
To have this house and live
here, person,
but I would probably buy a house similar to that. I don't, like you said, I don't need a mansion. I would 100% have an in-ground pool, though. I would not.
Yeah, I probably would too. My brother remodeled a home that they purchased in Michigan, and he put in this in-ground pool, and it is like the most beautiful paradise. Yeah. It's so nice, and it's such a it's so beautiful looking, and it's such a nice pool. And if you're gonna have a pool, and you're gonna shell out some money
for it, if you can pay for it, then that's the way to go.
Is the way to go, and I love the idea of that. I would probably do that because my kids enjoy swimming enough that I would put in a pool. Oh yeah, and so. As a result, it would be an in-ground pool. Yeah.
I don't even hate our property. Like, if we just knocked down our house and built something else, like,
oh sure,
we've got the land. We really like where we live. Like, it wouldn't be completely out of the realm of possibility to stay and just change what we have. So some things I would go extravagant, and then other things I would be more reasonable. I did ask my husband and then the twins this, and my husband did say he'd immediately buy all of the cars and motorcycles and take a trip somewhere.
Sure,
I'd probably take plenty of trips. But then he would save and he would donate to a lot of different places.
Sure.
Which I think I would do the same things. Now, the twins said that Cooper said, or my boy twin said he would go to Hawaii.
That's good. That's okay.
And my girl said she would go to California, which is probably just because she's never been there. So, I
love that. That's
adorable. And they would both save money. My 7-year-old said they would save
My kids did not mention saving money.
Yeah.
Although one of them, I think I wrote this all down. I thought one of them said that they would invest money. No, they didn't. Although they did have some interesting things. So my 8-year-old, I'm saying he's 8 now because this is going to come out like 2 days before his birthday.
Okay.
So my 8-year-old would buy a mansion with 4 pools in it so that each of us would have our own pool.
Okay.
Yes.
4
he would
pools.
Also buy like a full set of gear so that he could stream on YouTube while playing video games. So that was a thing. He also said that he would want to eat fancy foods like cakes. So he would hire a chef.
Oh, okay.
So that they could make him whatever he wants anytime he wants.
That's totally what, yeah.
Yes. He would get a Lamborghini. He did mention a Lamborghini. A VR headset, which is what he wants for his birthday, and we have continuously declined. Mostly because I think my husband believes that virtual reality will make him nauseous, so he doesn't want to play VR games, so we're not getting one.
Got it. Okay.
He did say toys and Robux, which is Roblox money, and he said, I would get 100,000 Robux, which is 1,000 regular dollars, excuse me.
Oh, wow.
He also said he would buy a jet, but we then had a conversation about how much more reasonable it is to just like rent or go private.
And
it's better for the environment.
Yeah, we don't need to buy a jet.
He kind of came around, but I think he also felt like, maybe those still, I would buy a jet. Okay, cool. Then my 10-year-old, this was very interesting. This was the first thing he said. Okay. He said that he would start a business.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah. Huh. And I was just like, where did this come from?
Yeah, right. What kind
then he
of
did say it would be a restaurant, which I kind of like, a restaurant. Okay, well, maybe.
Yeah.
He also said he would buy a quarry because you could like find gems.
He wants
to make money off of it. Yes, he wants to dig for like diamonds, I think. Although he did kind of like also say I would make money from it if I owned a quarry. And I was kind of like, this is very interesting. He's very entrepreneurial.
Yeah, right?
Apparently.
He's trying to think of ideas to use money to make money, which it's totally valid.
I love it.
That's
well,
what
and
happens.
I said, when you get a bunch of money like this, where you would win the lottery, starting a restaurant business or something like that is a lot simpler because the startup is you just have it.
Right.
You don't have to fundraise.
You don't have to find capital. You just
and
pay
you can
for
also
it.
take your time and find the right place and find the right chef and find the right food.
You also have money to pay people to a good chef and a good
exactly.
Yeah.
So
that's reasonable.
Yeah, that was a very interesting answer to the question. He also said he would buy a mansion, but it would be for him and his friends.
Oh, okay.
He said that him and his friends are already saving for a mansion. They've all been saving
They've discussed
money.
This?
Yes.
Okay.
They've been talking about this, quote, since 3rd grade.
Okay.
Okay. All right. He mentioned candy. I would buy candy.
All the candy.
Love it.
That's a lot
Start
of
a business and buy candy. And he also mentioned Robux, although not in the way that my younger son did, where he was like elaborately describing the Robux. My husband started out the rational way, pay off debt. He said that he would still work part-time at Binny's, but he would move to the beer department at the Joliet location because that's where he was his happiest.
Aww.
Which is kind of adorable and a little bit sad. I don't know. It's fine.
It's fine. It's kind of cute. Okay.
He did mention starting a video game company, which has always been kind of
he's always
passive desire of his.
Sure.
I think if he had some people with the skill set that could like make his visions a reality, that would go a long way for him because obviously creating a video game is an elaborate task.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
And I think he has the ideas.
But we need someone to execute.
But we need a code monkey.
Yeah, for sure. I get it.
He talked about investing. He also talked about charity work. He also talked about starting a charity. So that he would make sure that every penny that was going into the charity would go to the right place, which is an honorable thing.
Yeah, no, I get that. I definitely, that would be a good idea. I like that idea. I
agree. There are times where you find out that charitable organizations aren't
as charitable as you think.
Money in places that you kind of feel like maybe what's going on there.
Yeah, no, I think I would lean towards that as well, for sure.
Yeah. I also asked each of them whether or not they would tell people that they had money. My 8-year-old immediately said yes.
Okay.
My husband and the 10-year-old both said no.
Okay.
My 8-year-old said yes and also said that he would give everybody he cared about $10,000 every year on their birthday.
Aw.
Yes, which I thought was very sweet. And also $10,000 is a good amount because it can be a gift and you don't have to pay taxes on it. Yeah. I almost went into all of that with him and then I was like, he's not worried about this.
Fair. Yeah.
My 10-year-old said he would not tell anyone because then, quote, all the girls would want him.
He's probably not wrong, which is very interesting.
This kid, I did not see these answers coming. This was a very interesting conversation.
Wise beyond his years.
I suppose so.
Yeah. My kids just want to spend their money on adventures.
That's cool. My kids apparently want to spend them on things.
It's fine. Everybody has different desires.
Yeah.
Things that make them happy.
Yeah.
That's a perfect example of finding out things that make people happy.
Yeah, and right? I think that
some is giving, some is...
And I think the whole point of this conversation is for us to figure out what would make you happy. And some of them are simple things that are very achievable. I mean, you can go on a nice vacation. Yes. You plan and you save and you know what you want to do. You're going to go on that trip. That trip's going to happen.
Yeah, and it's going to make you happy probably. So.
Am I going to go to Oktoberfest someday? I absolutely can. I am. I might not have my driver drop me off at the front door.
You can still attend.
But I will be there.
Yes.
Before I get too old to enjoy it.
That's the key. Do things before you get too old.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, so that was fun. Yeah. I hope that we cheered ourselves up and enjoyed a little fantasy talk. Oh, I didn't mention my brother. I asked my brother.
Okay.
My brother has apparently no imagination in this area. He was just like, oh, I don't know. I guess maybe I would buy a Lamborghini because I've always liked the brand and I think that would be really cool. And that was really it. He was like, nothing else really, though.
Okay.
And I was just kind of like, okay.
That's all you want?
I guess being a realist is fun. I mean, I teased him a little bit because my sister-in-law is a physician and they do have, a vacation home.
Sure.
They don't have like a crazy extravagant lifestyle or anything quite like that.
No.
But I was just like, well, you already probably are living your dream. So
there you go.
I guess you don't have to dream about anything except for possibly a Lamborghini.
Fair. All right.
Yes.
So on that note, we're going to drink our last beer, Nookie Conster Mosh. So,
wow, you did it.
Right, I tried. Stout with chocolate sandwich cookies. 1 pint of yummy, it says. So,
I could get on board with that.
Yeah.
I like yummy.
Let's do it. Enjoy with people you trust.
Again, yeah.
Circle
and I'm feeling good about that.
Circle of trust. All right.
I would tell you, by the way, that
I would tell you
the lottery. And here's why. Not only because I trust you, which we're discussing, but also I would tell you because I would want to
continue on,
this podcast, but I would also want to make it simpler on us. I would hire somebody to do like
all this
editing, and we could
but
pay
we could
for
take
more
it on
promotion,
the road.
go on tour, and do stuff like that, which would be fun.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I'm pretty sure you would kind of be like, okay, I have some questions because you booked a tour for us.
Yeah. And I can't afford this.
But I can't afford a tour. Are we like renting a car?
Yeah, what's going on here?
And how much am I required to pay for this car?
Yes.
And so, in addition to the fact that I would trust you to tell you and, to feel like that was okay.
I might need to. Yeah, I would be asking the questions.
But I would want to expand what we are doing here, and so I would definitely tell you for that reason.
Agreed. I like it.
All right, let's try.
It smells like chocolate.
Conster Mosh.
Yes.
To be fair, I couldn't see the whole thing all in one. I had to spin around.
It smells chocolatey.
It smells chocolatey. It smells like smells like
it's opaque
sandwich cookies.
Yes.
Yeah, it is almost the same color as my microphone, which is black.
Mm-hmm. Chocolatey.
I'm trying to think. Give me a second here on this one.
It's not sandwich cookie to me.
Yeah, so we've had like sandwich cookie beers before, and a lot of times they're a little artificial flavored, and I kind of like that.
Also, I think there's more vanilla in the other ones.
Well, maybe that's what it is. Whoa.
Yeah. I think this is more
maybe we could, if we won the lottery, we could take like some sort of vanilla appreciation class.
I like it. Vanilla appreciation. All right, I'm going to look for this. Vanilla appreciation
class. Write that down.
All right. Yeah. But I do think the previous sandwich cookie beers that I've had have either like a vanilla or a marshmallowy artificial taste to it.
Yeah.
This one is much more chocolate.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's just different than some of the other ones I've had. This is mostly chocolatey to me.
I agree. I don't get that. Like you said, vanilla is probably the big difference maker here. And perhaps that's why this one just doesn't really taste quite like a sandwich cookie.
Yeah.
It does have a little bit of that, like, I don't know how to put it. You know, like cookies aren't obviously just chocolate. You know,
Yes.
you've got flour and you've
all
and
of the other flavors, the sugars,
get
the
a
milk,
little bit of
the,
that
yeah.
of the like, it's not a creamy flavor. It's almost like a bready cookie flavor, like the floury cookie flavor.
It's like the shortbread cookie piece, like
yeah,
a little bit.
That's what it is. That's probably. I'm trying to put my finger on it, and I think that's close.
I think that I could see that.
Kind of in the aftertaste, that's what I get. A little bit more. I mean, during the initial flavor, and while I'm tasting it, I get it kind of.
I can see, like, if you're thinking about like taking a bite of like a shortbread cookie and how it kind of sticks to the back of your throat.
Yeah.
That kind of is the aftertaste.
Yes.
To this.
I think I was trying to nail down why this doesn't just taste like a chocolate stout.
Yeah.
There's something else to it. There.
Okay. I can see that. Yeah.
And so I do think it's like
combination of flavors. Yes.
I would call it maybe like a chocolate cookie, but maybe not like a sandwich cookie.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very good. It does have a creaminess to it.
I feel like we got very specific on this one.
It does have a creaminess to it, though.
Yes.
So it's got that creamy, chocolatey flavor with a hint of cookie.
Yeah.
So that piece I definitely get.
Agreed.
So,
definitely.
Pretty good. I mean, both beers were good. I would definitely check them out if I see them again.
Definitely. Yeah, this was good. It's interesting beer, I love their can art. This one's got basically a fake Cookie Monster. Sort of looks like Elf, though. I don't know. Check this out. Doesn't he look a lot more like Elf? Like
He's
a blue
like
elf.
a blue elf with a pink cookie.
Yeah.
Yeah. He totally looks like Elf.
Doesn't he?
Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder if they were trying to do that or if that just happened organically.
Maybe. I don't know. But definitely
exactly
Elf.
Like Elf.
I feel like our generation is the last one to know who Elf is.
Yeah. If you're listening to this and you don't know who Elf is, you might be too young to be listening. I don't want to like point you out or make you feel like you don't belong.
Just Google.
Google. Just maybe look up Elf and see if his episodes are on like Hulu or something. I feel like they've got to be somewhere.
And then look at the Nookie Constermosh can art, and you will totally
and then just weigh in on that.
Put that together. Yep.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, this was great.
Yep.
Illuminated Brew Works.
Thanks again for joining us, you guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everyone, for listening to the latest musings from Parenting by the Pint.
Be sure to find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and make sure that you rate, review, and subscribe to us wherever you find your podcasts.
Have a great week, and cheers to you all.